In the small, quiet town of Maple Creek, there lived a boy named Ryan. By all accounts, Ryan was a prodigy. His mind was incredibly sharp, able to cut through complex math problems and scientific theories with an ease that left everyone in awe. People said he had so much potential that his future was a blank canvas just waiting for success. Ryan had one grand dream: to become a doctor. This wasn't about money or status. It came from the stories his grandmother, a retired nurse, told him about healing and compassion. He pictured himself in a white coat, a calm presence, saving lives. Everything seemed perfectly set up for him. But for all his brilliance, Ryan was trapped. He couldn't control his own mind. His consciousness was a restless sea, constantly stirred by the winds of distraction. The battle was fought every day at his desk. He'd sit down, textbooks open, determined to study for 3 solid hours. But that resolve would crumble in minutes. His eyes would drift to his smartphone, a sleek black monolith, promising 1,000 other worlds. His mind would start to wander. I wonder if Sarah replied to my comment. I'll just check for a second. That 1 minute would stretch into 10 as he scrolled through endless vacation photos and memes. Then, a YouTube notification would pop up, a new video from his favorite gaming channel. Okay, just this one video. It's only 15 minutes. It'll help me relax. Then I can really focus. An hour later, he'd be deep down a rabbit hole of obscure movie theories, his textbook completely forgotten. Sometimes, he didn't even need technology. His mind would just drift into elaborate daydreams. He'd imagine himself as a world-renowned surgeon performing a groundbreaking operation. He'd mentally rehearse his Nobel Prize acceptance speech. These fantasies were so satisfying that the real work felt impossibly dull. He had a favorite lie, he told himself. Oh, there's still plenty of time. I'll study later. But later was a mythical place he never quite reached. His parents grew concerned. His mother would bring him snacks and gently say, "Ryan, the scholarship exam is only a month away." His father would look at his report card, which showed B's where A's should have been, and say, "Talent is a gift, son, but it's a waste if you don't use it." Even his teachers started to sprinkle their praise with warnings about hard work. But Ryan was wrapped in a youthful arrogance. He truly believed being smart was a superpower, an automatic ticket to success. He saw his friends studying for hours every night and felt sorry for them. They needed to grind. He, on the other hand, could just switch on his brain when it mattered. He thought discipline was for the less gifted. Then came the day of reckoning. The results of the statewide scholarship exam were posted. This scholarship was his first major step toward medical school, a validation of his dream. He walked to the notice board, confident his name would be at the top. He scanned the list, once, twice, a third time, his finger tracing the names, his heart pounding a frantic rhythm. His name wasn't there. A cold, sinking feeling washed over him. His world tilted. He saw the names of his friends, the ones who studied regularly, who made schedules and stuck to them. They had all done very well. Just then, one of his teachers, who had once called him the brightest student he'd ever taught, caught his eye. The teacher's gaze wasn't angry, but filled with a profound disappointment that felt worse than any scolding. Ryan's face burned with shame. That evening, alone in his room, the silence amplified his failure. The trophy shelf, filled with awards from past science fairs, seemed to mock him. He knew, with absolute certainty, he hadn't failed because the exam was too hard. He had failed because he squandered the one resource that even a genius can't reclaim: time. time. In that moment of despair, a realization finally broke through. Being smart is not enough. Talent without discipline is like a race car without a driver. It has immense potential, but it will go nowhere. He knew he had to change, but he couldn't do it alone. His search for help led him to an unlikely place, the school's athletic department, and a man named Coach Miller. The coach was a legend, known for building character. With a lump in his throat, Ryan found him by the track. "Coach," he began, his voice a whisper, I have a problem." Coach Miller gave him his full attention. "Go on, son, I just can't focus," Ryan confessed. "When I sit down to study, my mind is like a pinball machine. It keeps jumping from one thing to another. My phone, social media, daydreams. What can I do?" The coach listened, a knowing smile on his face. "Controlling the mind is the hardest battle you'll ever fight. Come, let me show you something." He led Ryan to the playground and took out a child's toy bow and arrow. He set up a small target. "If you can hit the center of this board," he said, handing Ryan the bow, "I'll know how focused you are." Ryan felt a little foolish, but he drew back the arrow and let it fly. It missed the entire board. Coach Miller didn't laugh. "What were you looking at when you shot, Ryan?" Ryan hesitated. "Well, the board, but also the trees behind it, the running track, the wind." The coach nodded. "And that's your problem. You're trying to look at everything at once. A great archer sees only one thing, the dead center of the target. Everything else becomes background noise. Your mind is busy with everything around you, Ryan. Your phone, social media, YouTube. They are the trees and the wind. If you want to succeed during your study time, you must only look at your goal, your target." The metaphor hit Ryan like a ton of bricks. He finally understood. "But coach," he asked, his voice filled with hope, "where do I start? How do I become more disciplined?" "Listen carefully," the coach said. "I'll give you 4 simple rules. Follow them consistently, and they will be enough. 1. Control your thoughts. When you're studying and your mind starts to wander, you must catch it. Acknowledge the thought, and then firmly tell yourself, 'This is my study time. I must focus now.' You are the master, not your impulses. 2. Make a routine. The mind loves patterns. Create a strict daily schedule. Decide when you will study, when you will use your phone, and when you will rest. At first, it will feel like a prison, but soon it will become a comfortable framework. 3. Keep distractions away. Willpower is finite. Don't waste it. When you study, your phone should be in another room, turned off. Log out of social media. Engineer your environment for success. And 4. Practice every day. Discipline is a muscle. You build it slowly. Start with 25 minutes of pure, focused study. Then take a 5-minute break. Repeat it. These small victories, day after day, are the key." Ryan went home a changed person. He taped a strict routine to his wall. He left his phone in the kitchen when he studied. The first few days were agonizing. His mind screamed for distraction, but every time his thoughts wandered, he heard the coach's voice and repeated his new mantra, "My goal is to become a doctor. This is my study time." Slowly, things began to change. The 25-minute focus sessions became easier. Soon, he could study for a full hour without a single distraction. He was rediscovering the joy of learning. A few months later, he sat for another competitive exam. This time, he was calm and prepared. He worked through the questions with quiet, steady focus. When the results were announced, he hadn't just passed. He had come in first place. It was a feeling far deeper than the cheap thrills of his past. He knew it wasn't just luck or talent. It was the hard-won fruit of his discipline. About a year later, Ryan stood on a stage, accepting a prestigious scholarship. He saw his parents beaming with pride. In the back row, he spotted Coach Miller, who gave him a small, knowing nod. Ryan remembered the most profound thing the coach had told him. The mind is like a wild horse. If you don't control it, it will drag you wherever it wants to go. But if you take the reins and train it, it will become your greatest strength and carry you to any destination you choose. Ryan had finally learned that the true measure of a person isn't the talent they reborn with, but their ability to master themselves. He had trained his wild horse, and he knew his destination was finally within reach. Thanks for watching. If this story resonated with you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content. See you next time.